In this video, we're going to learn about converting miles to meters. So we have a scenario, and imagine that you want to become a law enforcement officer. Now in Washington, LEOs are trained by the Criminal Justice Training Commission. And to attend CJTC's Basic Law Enforcement Academy, recruits must be able to pass the Physical Ability Test, or PAT. One element of the PAT is a 1.5-mile run. You've gotten permission to train on the track at the high school. So our question is then, how many laps do we run? So what do we need to know? Well, we need to know how long one lap is. And one lap at the high school track is going to be 400 meters. Okay, next thing we need to figure out is what is our conversion factor from miles to meters? Well, I don't have miles to meters, but I do have miles to kilometers. So I take the units we were given, 1.5 miles, and write that as a fraction over 1. And then I multiply that by our conversion factor so that we have 1.61 kilometers over 1 mile, which means the miles will cancel and we're left with the units we want, which is kilometers. And we get 1.5 times 1.61 kilometers. Now, we'll go ahead and multiply those two values. And 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 times 6 is 30. Carry that 3 over, and 5 times 1 plus 3 is 8. Next line, we add the 0, and it's 1 times 161. Add up those two lines, and 5 plus 0 is 5, and 1 plus 0 is 1, and 8 plus 6 is 14, and 1 plus 1 is 2. We've got 3 decimal places, so the decimal goes right there. So we get 2.45 kilometers, which we know is 2,415 meters, because that's what we need to figure out. Our laps are in meters, so we need to convert from kilometers to meters. Now we need to figure out how many laps do we need to run. So we take our 2,415 meters, write that as a fraction over 1, and write that by our conversion factor. When this is case is for each lap, there is 400 meters. The meters cancel, and we're left with 2,415 times 1 up top, and 1 times 400 on the bottom, and that's our laps. So we need to do some division. We need to take 2,415 and divide that by 400. Well, I know 6 times 4 is 24, so 6 times 400 will be 2,400. And 2,415 minus 2,400 is just 15. So I have 15 remaining. I think this is going to be close to 6, but let's take our division a little bit farther just to see how close to 6 it is. Drop a 0 down. 400 does not go into 150, so we put a 0 there. So we're going to drop another 0 down. And yes, 400 does go into 1,500 3 times, because 3 times 400 is 1,200. And 1,500 minus 1,200 is 300. Well, this right here is close enough to 6. So how many laps do we need to run? 6 laps.